Welcome back to Four-Year Starters Daily Lineup. It's Tuesday, June 13th, and we've got some exciting stories to cover today in the world of sports. But before we dive in, did you know that on this day in 1927, the first Volvo car rolled off the production line in Gothenburg, Sweden? Now let's get to the headlines. First up, we've got Saquon Barkley's uncertain future with the New York Giants. The star running back has expressed some hesitation about committing to a long-term deal with the team, and we'll be discussing what that could mean for the Giants' offense going forward. And in golf news, we've got a potential home sale from a legendary player. Greg Norman may be selling his home amidst the PGA Live Golf deal, and we'll be exploring what that could mean for the golf industry as a whole. So sit back, grab your headphones, and let's get started with today's lineup. And now, let's take a quick look at some of the top sports headlines from around the world. First up, NFL legend Tom Brady is enjoying his retirement by doing what he loves most, throwing footballs, attending tennis matches, and spending quality time with his family. In baseball news, Andrew McCutchen made history by hitting his 2000th career hit as the Pirates went on to beat the Mets 2-1. He is now the fifth active player to reach this impressive milestone. And finally, in MMA news, Amanda Nunes has announced that she is retiring from the sport after winning a unanimous decision victory against Irene Aldana. Nunes is widely considered the greatest women's fighter in MMA history. That's it for these sports headlines. Stay tuned for more updates in the world of sports. New York Giants star running back Saquon Barkley has yet to sign a contract for 2023 after the team put their franchise tag on him earlier this year. While the two sides still have until July 17th to come to an agreement, Barkley hinted that he could sit out the entire season if they can't reach a deal on a long-term contract. Speaking at his football camp in New Jersey, Barkley said the contract negotiations are all about respect. Barkley, who rushed for a career-high 1,312 yards and tied for the team lead with 57 receptions last year, has until July 17th to sign a new deal. While he said he believes the two sides are open to talking, he also indicated that he would consider sitting out the season if a deal is not reached. Barkley declined an offer from the Giants earlier this year that would have been worth around $14 million annually. Multiple media outlets have reported that Barkley turned down multi-year offers starting at $12.5 million per season during last season, then incrementally higher offers of $13 million, and later $13 million plus incentives that could be worth another $1 million. The New York Daily News has reported that Barkley wants $16 million per season, similar to what 49 ER's running back Christian McCaffrey earns. Barkley's absence from the team's mandatory minicamp comes as a surprise, as the Giants are set to begin this week with high expectations following their surprising success last season. Last year, Barkley played in all 16 regular season games for the first time since his rookie year, rushing for 1,312 yards and 10 touchdowns, while also being a productive receiver with 57 receptions for 338 yards. The Giants have already signed quarterback Daniel Jones to a new contract. However, the team's success this season will likely depend on whether or not they can reach a long-term contract agreement with Barkley before the deadline, which is now less than a month away. The golf world is buzzing with news of the recent partnership between the PGA Tour and Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, which has left Greg Norman, the public face of Live Golf, in an uncertain position. As more details emerge of the deal, Norman may be looking to sell his new home in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and move back to his native Australia. During the negotiations between PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan's team and Yasser Al-Rumayyan, governor of the kingdom's PIF, Norman was cast aside and wasn't told of the deal until minutes before the two sides went public. Monahan will now oversee both the PGA Tour and Live Golf when the agreement is finalized, which means that Norman's role in the venture is likely to be remote. The announcement of the partnership between the PGA Tour and Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund has shocked the golf world, as the latter is financing the rival LIV Golf League. The unlikely deal began with a WhatsApp message from James Dunn III, an independent director on the PGA Tour's policy board who was once a Wall Street dealmaker. Dunn was a founder of Sandler O'Neill and Partners, an investment banking firm that lost 40% of its employees in the 9/11 terrorist attacks, including 2 of Dunn's partners. The fact that the Saudi kingdom was the birthplace of Osama bin Laden, the head of al-Qaeda and mastermind of the attack, makes the alliance even more improbable. Meanwhile, the golf world is getting ready to reunite as the best players gather for the 123rd U.S. Open at Los Angeles Country Club. The tournament promises to be a thrilling event, with top players like Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, and Phil Mickelson vying for the title. However, not all news in the golf world is positive. A trademark infringement lawsuit has been filed by Cool Brand Supply, an Argentine corporation, against the LIV Golf League and its High Flyers GC team, captained by Phil Mickelson. The lawsuit alleges that the High Flyers GC team has used a logo that is nearly identical to the skateboarding and lifestyle brand Fallon's 20-year-old logo. The lawsuit, filed in a U.S. District Court in New Jersey, states that the adoption and use of the knockoff logo by the defendants is a willful infringement and unfair competition. The lawsuit claims that LIV Golf uses a similar logo on hats, shirts, and sweatshirts, and that Mickelson wore the High Flyers logo while finishing second at the Masters in April and competing in last month's PGA Championship. Cool Brand Supply has demanded that the defendants cease their use of the infringing logo, but they have refused. In conclusion, the golf world is experiencing a whirlwind of news as the PGA Tour and LIV Golf finalize their partnership. Greg Norman considers selling his new home in Palm Beach Gardens, and a trademark infringement lawsuit is filed against the High Flyers GC team. All eyes are now on the 123rd U.S. Open, which promises to be a thrilling tournament. And that's a wrap for this episode of 4-Year Starter. We hope we hit a home run and knocked it out of the park for you today. Remember, if you liked what you heard, be sure to follow us on social media for more sports news and updates. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for another episode where we'll be bringing our A game once again. Thanks for listening, and as always, keep on scoring.